Welcome welcome to ArcMap tutorial training with Steven. So I'll be showing you today how to make shapefiles. That is both the point, the lines, and the polygon. That is the shapes. So and also we'll be looking at various modes by which we can represent our shapefile. So in my previous video I have showed you that Shapefile can be stored on your systems, but that is as whatever format as whatever format they can be, and also they can be stored in a geodatabase. So, but I will be saving them as a file within your system. Most times, if you store a file in your database, it is only a file, an app, or an application that can read your database that will be able to read it, which means you may not be able to see your database in your Windows Explorer as you can see all other document or file. So let's go let's go through it. So first of all, you need to either connect the folder, that is the folder you want to save the shapefile. You need to connect it inside your ArcMap workspace, and mine is connected to already. So if you want to know how it is being connected, I can drop the link to the videos that shows how you can create or connect a folder in your ArcMap. So yes, so the folder I want to use are already here, so I'll just pick one of these folders to make the video. So let me just pick this folder for the purpose of this training. So first of all, what you need to do is to right click on the folder you're going to create. You want to create it, and then you come to, yes, you can create an extra new folder, or you can create it straight away. So shapefile, you click on shapefile, or yes, you click on shapefile. But one thing I want us to do is this: if you have a document that is either geographic or projected, that a file that has a coordinate system, you can put it into the workspace so that you can know the area where you want to create it, so that you won't just create shapefile or files in habitual coordinate spaces. So by that I will pull up a data. Let me pull up this name. So already I'm in Nigerian workspace, so I'm in within Nigerian coordinate system. So that whenever I'm now creating a shapefile, I know where I'm creating it, and I'm not just creating a shapefile in an habitual space. So as I have said, so all you need is to right click, then you pick up the shapefile. So here you can decide which of the shapefile you want to work with. Most times either the point, the polyline, or the polygon, and we can do for the server. So let's pick the point first. So you select the point. You can change the name. Let's change the name to point. So I'll pick the geographical projection coordinate, because by that I won't be looking for, I won't be trying to pick areas. If I pick the UTM, then that means I need to efficiently put my data within the 31 knot regions. So what if I pick the graphic, then I can across Nigeria, then I can make Shapefile. But if you pick the projected, that means you'll be dealing with the projection that you pick. So you cannot work on another projection while you did not pick that projection. Now what I mean is that you cannot work in the 32 projection if you pick a 31 projection. So that is what it means. You cannot work in the 41 projection. Yes, there are 41, there are 5, there are between, I think between 0 to around 30, maybe 40 something. So you cannot work in another projection if you pick another projection. But if you pick the geographic, you can work in any, you can work across any of the projection. So I'll be picking the geography coordinate system. So, and I'll be saying okay. So it's telling me that the file name here exists. Now let me do a touch on it. So it has already appeared. Then I'll also do for the polyline, and sorry if you need a video now to add your base map. There's also a base map, a video for a base map link on my channel, so you can also work that. So, and I can also drop the link so you can also visualize them. So I'll pick a polyline. I'll also do the same. So I didn't change the name. I didn't change the name of the polyline. So I'll also pick for the polygon. So you can rename it, give it the name of a place like Ajakuta Polygon and so on. You can rename. So, and also one thing you must know is that you don't need to create polyline or polygon or point data for each of the points you need to create. So that means you can create 1,000, 10,000 point data in just a single shapefile, in just a single point shapefile. You can create thousands of lines inside a single polyline shapefile, and also the same thing for a polygon. So you don't need to create shapefile for each of the point polygon like polyline data you are creating. So that means, let's say I want to create a polygon for the local government in Ekiti State or in Ondo State. I don't need to create shapefile for each of the local government. So let's say they're having 16 local governments. So I don't need to create 16 shapefile, 16 polygon shapefile for the local government. I just need to create a polygon and then draw out each of the polygon within the region. So that is what it means. So you don't need to create polygon over and over again for a particular place. And if you do that, you can merge it together. You can merge a number of polygon, a number of polyline, a number of point data. You can merge them together into one shapefile. You can merge them together into one shapefile. So let's go on. So the first step is to create your shapefile, and after you create your shapefile, the next thing you do is to right click on one of them. You don't need to right click on each of them, and then start editing. Start editing. Start editing. So for you to edit, there's a window I need. So that window comes up when I click create feature. So if you don't have this window, you cannot create the features. So here I pick line. So your line can come as line, as rectangle, and so on. So let me pick a line. So now do you see this? I can draw. You can singularly draw this line. Yes, you can singularly draw it. Yes, you know this is a reverse channel, so you can singularly draw it, and you see that when you touch the edge of the line you draw, there are different shapes, which means that you can easily pick from the end of this line to redraw something else. So that makes the work unique, and that makes you picking from an end point. And sometimes it really makes the work neat. By the time you check this, you see that the points touch each other. So that's what it means. You can uncheck those things. Let me show you how you can uncheck them. So here there is something that is called a sniping tool. A sniping tool. Yes, so this is sniping tool. So I can decide to uncheck some of this sniping tool, and when you move your cursor around it, then you don't have any other thing. There are no sniping to help you to pick some of the vertices, both at the end vertices or at different points on the line. So you don't have them. So that is that. For you see now I can pick them again. So that is that for the line. And also if you need to pick for the point, you click on the point, then you select various points. You select various points. You select various points, and if you come here, you can change the weight, you can change the sizes, you can change the color, you can change the angles. So you can change even the style. You can change them. So that's for the point, and also for the polygon. Yes. You are. So some of it we think you need to after you do for points, you need to close it. Yes, you need to stop editing, then start editing again. No, you don't need it. You can make as much shapefile as required, and you turn on your editing tool, and you edit every of the shapefile you need. The point, the multi-point, and so you turn them on, you edit whatever you want to edit, and you close it back. So I can draw for the polygon. You pick polygon. Polygon are different from the rectangle. Polygon can take take up any shape. I can draw a polygon touching all of the points I drew. So it's different from a rectangle. It's different from a rectangle. So when you are done with it, you double click. So if you pick a rectangle, it's different. It's different from a rectangle. It's different from a circle. It's different from a circle. Use an eclipse. So you can make all of those drawings as much as you require, and then you can also make a free sketch. The free sketch is the most sweetest of all them, because but most times I don't use the free sketch. I don't use the free sketch because if you are drawing something that you need to be conscious, you need to be slow, you might not be able to use the free sketch except you have a steady hand. So, and I don't have a steady hand like that, so I don't really use the different construction tool. So yes. So when you are done, then you come back to your editing. You can stop editing. You can save editing. If you stop editing, a dialog is popped up where you can save your editing. So that's all. That's all you require when you are creating a shapefile. But there are some other things you may need to do with the shapefile, and that is here. So when you come here, there is something called attribute table for each of the shapefile. When you right click, you can open your attribute table. So this is an attribute table. You see, I only have FID, shape ID. You can add more tables to it. Now you can add more tables before you start editing, or you can add more tables after editing. Now this is what I mean. When you are editing, that's during editing mode, you cannot add a table. You cannot add a table. So you can only adjust whatever is in the table. So that means if I am editing on editing mode, I can only do a few touches to what I have here, change them, maneuver the data and so on. But I cannot create another field. So unless when I stop editing, and this is how to add a new feed. You come here, then you add feed. And adding it here, I can say name. That means the name will be in text. So I can say in text. So when you say short integer are numbers, long integer, they are numbers, but all numbers. When you pick float or double, that means you are talking about decimal numbers. 3 point something, 3 and so on. That's what it means. And text is text, like your name. Is something that has no number. You can also put number, but it is predominantly for text. And then you also have date. So I'll be working with text, and you can change this. Let's say 30. You can change the length, and that's okay. So yeah, you can write the name. So you can't write anything here until you start editing again. So So, and also there's something also I need to show you. And what I need to show you is that if you right click here, your editing tool is here, your sniping tool is here, so you can find them. Maybe if you lost it somehow, when you mistakenly close it, you can find it on this place when you right click. So yes, let's finish off with what we're doing. So you can give it a name, done, enter, type, try, and so on. So you can give it a name, and you can do several calculations also, but we are not in the mood of calculating. We just want to see how to add shapefile and so on. So you can, so when you are done also, you save your editing, you stop editing. Same thing goes for your line attribute, that's for the polyline. You can also start editing. So what I'm saying is that you can create that table, add fields and so on for the three of them. Then when you start editing, you do for each of them at once. And when you are done, you save and you stop editing. And secondly, if you click at this arrow, that feature is selected. So because you need to also know, when you click at the edge, it is selected. It is selected. The same thing goes for your point data. If you can select multiple points, you see they are in blue. They are in blue. They will be all be selected. They will be selected. So you can select them. So I was saying in one of the videos that selection. So you can then select by attribute. You can select by location. So after you have data that usually you do this for polygon, you do this for point data, you do this for polyline data, that's line data. So you can do selection processes either by attributes, you can zoom to selected. So that which means if you double click here, you can zoom to the selected feature. You can zoom to it. And doing this work, you can also add your base map. I have said it the other time. You can add your base maps. So thank you. I think we have come to the end of adding shapefile to your data space, your workspace. So that is how to add it. So don't forget, when you are creating a shapefile, it is good when you have a data that you can use to access the area. And let me say this, if you don't have a data as such, you can do this. And this is what I'm saying. Yeah, you can come to X and Y, and you can put one of your coordinates here. Let's say I put a coordinate here, 6.78. I put a coordinate 5.443. So sorry, don't mind me, I'm using a geographical. So easily I can add a label. See, look at my label. So by the time you add a label, and before I continue, you can also change the type of unit into UTME, into degree, minute, and seconds, and so on. You can yes, you can change the. You may not be able to work with the degree, minute, and seconds because there is a way you must code it, and I don't know how to code it. So most times, work with your UTME, work with your UTME, or work with your decimal degree. So yes, this is the point I picked. So you can pick this point, yes, using this, then overlay it with your base map. Overlay it with your base map. So now, but before you do that, create your shapefile with your coordinates. Create them. The reason why I'm saying that is that so that when you start drawing it, your system is not lagging behind. That's if it cannot fully access the base map. Or you can do it this way. You can uncheck it. The same way I check the DM, you can uncheck your base map when you recognize that area by which you want to draw the shapefile. You can uncheck the base map. If you feel that your system is running very slow or too slow because of the base map, you can uncheck it. So you can uncheck the base map, then draw a few lines, draw a few points, and then check it back again. That's you zoom into a level, check it back again, draw. Then while you are doing that, you are saving your work, you are saving the editing, you are saving the editing so that you don't lose your work as as doing a system breakdown or doing the app breaking down or the app getting freeze up. Yes, getting frozen up. So you will need all of these things. You will need to like take little precautions as you work. So one thing I would love also to say is that know your system, know the application behavior when you turn on something, when you turn on one thing, when you turn on the other. Know, recognize if it is the application that is behaving like that because of the system performance, or if it is that you will need to shut down every other application while running this work. There are some work that you can run freely with other app while your this is on. Let me say when if you're not working on a base map now, your system might work faster. Even if you are going to use a base map, you might need to shut down other open apps so as to make your system run faster while working on a base map. So thank you. God bless you. So and have a nice time. Or have a good time. This is working with ArcMap. Thank you.